Hello, this is Irina. In this video I will give you step-by-step instructions for a shaker card with stamped flower image. Before I start stamping, I'm tracing a circle die on a piece of white cardstock to plan the window of my shaker card. I will be using the stamp set from Altenew called Layered Lily. I'm starting with the sentiment. I will be stamping it with Hero Arts brown ink pad, color name is Kappa Joe. I'm stamping the sentiment in the lower right corner of the card front panel. Next I'm moving to the flower image. For the first layer I will be using Hero Arts Butter Bar color. I wish I had a lighter ink color, but when I don't have one, I can use technique called second generation stamping. After inking the stamp, I press it on a scratch paper first, and then press it on the cardstock. This gives me a faded version of that color. It seemed too light for me, and I repeated stamping with this technique. You can see me making pencil marks. They will help me line up all the layers of the flower image. I'm stamping the second layer with the full color of Butter Bar ink. And clean the stamp after usage. Now to the third layer, and the next ink I'm using is Hero Arts Orange Soda. I always make a test impression on some scratch paper, because solid images may not stamp perfectly from the first inking. As you can see, the layers of this lily image are lining up very easily. I'm finishing the lily flower image by stamping central pieces with Hero Arts Kappa Joe ink. And that's it, the flower is done. Before stamping the leaves, I have to create a mask. I like using Inkadinkado stamping paper, because it is very thin and can be removed easily without damaging the paper. I'm stamping the first layer, and it doesn't matter if the impression is not perfect. I will take my scissors and cut out the shape close to the edge. Then I can put the mask right on top of the flower image. For the first layer of the leaf image, I will be using Hero Arts Soft Leaf ink. I'm stamping 2 leaves at a time. For the following layers, I will be using Hero Arts Fields Green ink. I'm using it to stamp the second layer and the third layer too. When you stamp the same ink color on top of the previous stamping, it gives a darker shade. This is another solution for stamping 3 or more layers with only 2 ink colors. Now it is time to peel off the mask and see the result. Now let's cut the window of the shaker card. I am lining up the circle die with the pencil line on the cardstock that I did earlier. Notice that the flower image is hanging off the pads. When I run it through my Big Shot machine, it will cut only the part of the die that was between the cutting pads. I will cut the rest of the image by hand. To do so, I am tracing the image with pencil and then using a craft knife to cut along the lines very carefully. Next you will see me scoring the cardstock for the card base and gluing down a circle with embossed dots that I prepared off camera. For the raised part of the shaker card, I prefer using light chipboard. I've cut 2 pieces slightly smaller than the card. I will trace the window onto the first piece of chipboard, draw straight lines to form a larger opening, and cut it with a craft knife. Next, I will trace the lines onto the second piece and cut them too. I will need to glue down 2 pieces together. When I'm gluing the chipboard onto the card base, I'm using a very strong adhesive, especially close to the edge of the opening. This will ensure that small elements of the shaker card won't fall out. I decided to fill my shaker with confetti, and I wanted their colors to match the colors of the image. So I took the ink pads that I used for the flower image and pressed them onto a leftover piece of white cardstock. Then I used a one-hole punch to create a bunch of colored circles. Those confetti circles will go into the opening, though I'll save a few for decoration. Now I'm gluing down a piece of clear plastic. Strong adhesive is recommended here too. I'm putting down the card front with flower image and a window with score tape. I have to be very careful because the tape holds very strong. So I take only a part of release paper off the tape at a time and line up everything before pressing it down. When the top part is fixed, I can remove the remaining release paper and glue the card front. Finally, I will arrange a few more confetti on the card front and glue them down with small drops of adhesive. And this finishes the shaker card. It's time to see it in action. I love the confetti shaking inside the window and the flower image too. This video is participating in the Altenew Video Challenge number 3. You are welcome to visit my blog too. Thank you for watching.